Hello, I'm Tanita, a future early childhood educator with 3 years of experience as a paraprofessional working in early childhood education with students with diverse needs. My goal is to create a classroom where every child is known, challenged, and supported with this presentation will highlight values, ethical commitments, and professional expectations that will guide me through my learning plan and will continue growing throughout my career. My Christian worldview calls me to serve students with compassion, honesty, humility, and fairness. I believe that every child has a chance to grow. These values influence on how I build relationships, respond to behavior, communicate with families, and design learning experiences. The consistent care and fair treatment allows me to grow with my students, and the students are more willing to participate, take academic risks, and recover from mistakes. As a Black woman, a mother, a Christian, and an educator, I bring a meaningful experience to my classroom. I also understand my perspective is not universal. I may unintentionally interpret behavior, communication, or family involvement through my own cultural lens. So, to reduce the effect of bias, I will reflect before making a conclusion and use evidence from multiple sources, learn how families understand situations, invite feedback from my colleagues. So, bias awareness will help me make fair instructional and behavioral disciplinary decisions. Ethical behavior means that students and families can trust my intentions and my decisions. Respect requires learning about each child without stereotyping. Fairness does not mean giving every student the same support, but it means maintaining meaningful goals while removing barriers, providing appropriate accommodations. The cultural framework I bring is culturally responsible, relationship centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. I want materials to serve as mirrors to affirm students' identities and windows to introduce them to lives and perspectives. I I will learn to use correct name pronunciations, use diverse books and examples, invite families to share knowledge and different ways for students to communicate. High expectations for communication means being clear, timely, respectful, and responsive for students, families, and colleagues. High expectations for professional practice requires me to know what my students should learn using evidence-based instruction, assess progress, and adjust when the strategy is not working. For me, high expectations are not perfection. They are a commitment to preparation, consistency, honesty, and growth. My first goal is to strengthen differentiation by using formative assessment to plan flexible groups, scaffolding, accommodations, and extensions. My second goal is to deepen my skill of proactive behavior and emotional regulation supports in the areas that matter greatly to my work with young children with autism. And my third goal is to build stronger two-way partnerships with families. Three PLC topics directly support these goals. First, inclusive instruction allows teachers to analyze the students' work plan differentiation, accommodations, and culturally responsible supports together. The second, social emotional learning and behavior supports help teams develop consistent proactive approaches and regulation. And third, data informed instruction and accessible technology. I will use continuous, consistent learning cycle. First, I will identify a specific need through student work, observation, family input, and data. Next, I will learn through research. And third, I will apply a focused strategy with clear success criteria. Finally, I will reflect on student response, gather feedback, and document. Lifelong learning requires both reflection and dedication. Reflection helps me examine the effects of my choices, including who participated, who progressed, and who may not have been fully served. Dedication means following through, seeking feedback without defensiveness, and continuing when improvement takes time. In closing, I would bring compassion, cultural humility, professionalism, and high expectations to your school community, and my experience as a pre-K paraprofessional has taught me as strong teaching begins and relationships continue through intentional planning, ethical judgment, and collaboration and reflection. Thank you so much.